This is not going to be a case of just chucking rivets on these. Oh, how long is it taking to get to this point? And I'm still not ready to put these panels on. Welcome back to Tools and Track, by the way. So at the end of the last low-cost update, we were like, let's just chuck these on, we're at that stage. I did also say, let's just leave these on and give me a week or so to ponder it. And I have done so, in amongst cleaning up and doing other things. This is something I will stop apologising for. Constantly going, oh God, this thing's taking forever. This is not a kit car. This is a scratch-built car. It's taking thought. These things take time to germinate. And this is no exception, especially as there's now no longer plans. I'm making all this up in my head. It pays to stop and think and go, what's going to be the best way to do this? Similarly, I know the task here is get the side panels on so we can build the car up, but stopping and thinking as I go and taking so long to get the panels on is no bad thing, because all of the things I've found would have bit me in the arse good and proper and been a real issue to deal with had I not stopped. So if you're ever doing this yourself, pace. That does not mean quick pace. A pace is what to do. So some prime examples of where I have got to whilst pondering this for the past week. First up, we're still not done with internal paneling, because my first major issue is this. I don't remember why, but, well, I do. It was just the volume and size of aluminium available to me, but this rear quarter area has just not been sheeted. Now, that's not a big problem, because at the time I was like, all of the clamshell behind me will come down and over here. But I'm going to get pretty bloody wet from the tyre spray coming in here. That actually will need an individual partition to stop the wheel area accessing the arse area. But the fun doesn't stop there, because this area at the front looks absolute garbage. Now, I've been at this for quite some time, making all this look nice, having individual holes for individual components poking out. But every time I'm working on it, I'm bending, knocking, tweaking, tickling. I have a suspicion that I'm going to have to just do away with all of this front section completely and run a cut from here down to here and just let all this be exposed. Now, I'm not fully sold on it, and it's not something I can't just come back to later and put a chop on, but my strong suspicion is all of this whole gubbins in the front, I don't think it's going to work. And while we're on the subject of my all-encompassing catastrophe that I've made of this car, you'll notice paint missing. So before we think about putting this on, again, we'll probably need to go around and touch up bits, because whilst this will more than less fully cover all these areas of cut, it's just not right. Also, these bits here are still in primer. So we're going to have to touch up all the paint as well before we go stamping rivets in. So, lots to think about there, but the good part is we've done the think. That's why we're pacing. Anyway, first and foremost, where we left off, rivets. I don't know if you can hear it, but I think Craig's making love to like a robotic skeleton next door. Anyway, we have rivets. That's the guy, that's what we're looking for, right? Now, I thought, okay, we've got lots of riveting to do, so I'm going to buy 100. What an amazing quantity, 100 rivets. I don't think this is going to be enough.
No, they disappear really quickly.
I've got a really strong vibe seeing 100 in my hand that I'm like, nah,
it's not that many.
That's not going to be enough. I think I'm going to run out, so I've actually just went on immediately and bought 500, because clearly that's the quantity we're talking about here. But what I will be able to do with this is the two side panels, the kick plate for the pedals, and one last bit that we need to deal with, the bit where the holes are, at your arse. Now, I've got two choices of the plates. I can either go around the outside, but the problem with that is I will have a step for this, because I kind of need to overlap, and I'm not sure if that's going to look good. But conversely, this will all be hidden by the wheel arch, so probably get away with it. The only other issue there is if I go on the inside, it's intruding into passenger space. I'm going to have a dirt trap down here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which isn't very good.
That's not great.
But it will look a lot neater inside and outside. But I'm also kind of worried that any like edged aluminium here is going to snag in the seats.
Yes.
So I'm realistically, I think we're warm into putting it outside. So let's knock something up for this and then move on. Okay, so panels are made, that's made, side panels are ready. I think it's time to start riveting. I mean, I'm not relishing it because I haven't bought an ear riveter still, because I don't think the majority of where I'm riveting an ear riveter is going to get into, so...
And it's one of these things as well that how often do you actually rivet things in this
Once I'm
volume?
done with this, I'm never going to rivet again, so I'm like, fuck, I'm going to hate myself for saying this by the end of this episode, but let's just carry on. So... yeah, I've got enough to pretty much toast one of these tubes with, so...
I've been down this road as well with the whole, I need to get myself an ear riveter, and then after I've done the job, I've went, I'm never going to use this again for another...
But how many times have you said that in your life?
I know quite a few times actually.
You should probably just do the thing and buy one. Right, so this is here. I also need a caulking gun. How am I going to do this? So I've got all my holes drilled, rivets ready to go. Basically, we're just going to smear, like this doesn't need to be War and Peace. I'm just putting a light finger smear around everything just to catch a bead and seal everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I mean, the car doesn't have a roof. This doesn't need to be fully watertight, but it does need to stop water ingress and a lot of filling of that, so.
Plus it is also a noise reducer. That is a big thing.
It's the main reason isn't just sealing the car, it's stopping things resonating. And I've said this about 3 or 4 times now, but I really need to not have a car that goes...
Yeah, big sheets of aluminium rattling off a steel is not the noise you want to be hearing.
I know. Right, so let's start with an easy one and work from there. Nice panel. I need to get the back plate off because I've done that before.
Sealed it on with the plastic. Oh. Oh dear.
Oh dear. We'll cut that bit out. Probably won't. I'll just leave that there as a lesson to
that
me.
plastic is just going to stay there for the life of the car.
This apparently people find very satisfying. I couldn't really give a fuck. I just want it off. Come on, you. Right, I need to find a cock gun. Cock!
Right in his cock.
Right in the cock. You may as well come.
Oh, right, okay.
Where's my cock? I'm looking for some cock. King gun.
What's that?
Cock. Love it. He's so happy all the time. The problem is, where do I hold it now?
Don't know. Just do it right over your hand.
Just put my hand in this part of the car. One and done.
Now the trick is not to drop it.
Or get silicone on your fingers. One, two. Okay, so I'll get these 2 in.
It's a wee starter.
My riveting gun. There we go.
Well, pow.
Pow, right in the kisser. One. Yeah, that's jammed in there. This is going to be a long night. Why are you not come out for?
I think I should maybe bring my rivet gun up tomorrow.
Fuck's sake.
Have you got something that you can...
We'll be right back after
yes,
after these messages from our sponsors.
Let's find something that we can... It's pretty jammed.
Like, fuck it. So we're on selfie stick and we're on no mic because I've actually managed to find the limit to a Rode mic's battery, and it's this much tools and track is the limit. Anyway, it's the next day. As you can see, I'm not even changed yet and it's bloody cold and I don't want to. So we have dealt with the paint. I have touched all of that up. We have done all of the internal panels. That's all dry and ready to go. So really the last thing to do here, and yes, I've put this off long enough, it's time to put the side panels on. Apparently, this is not Daniel's favourite thing that I've done.
It's not my most favourite thing you've done.
Right?
I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's I can see why people are into them. They're cool. They do racy things. I don't know. I just like I like the, what do you call it? The radicals. I like them.
I've not done one of them.
What?
I haven't done a radical though.
No, I know. I'm not saying that it's. I don't know. It's nice, but
You've said enough. You hold this.
it's not. No, there's everybody else likes Locost, don't they?
Well, apparently, everyone that's bloody watching
That
seems
is true.
to.
That is true. I mean, it's not quite a Fiat van, but you know, we could brush past that.
That's plenty. Right.
We could brush past that one.
I'll brush past you. I've put them on, and I've now reminded myself why I was. I keep doing. I'll get to that later, and I really need to stop doing that because it's now later, and there's many things we need to do. What I want to do is make sure that when this goes on, because it will go on for good, that it's right. So
It's about to go on. It's going to very shortly go on for good.
first thing is we need to radius that. We need to dress them down. Similarly, I'll need to radius this because that's a bit sharp. I'm going to probably radius that because it's again a bit sharp. This bit we radius there. That's okay. I don't even think I need a radius there. We'll leave that out.
You have a wee radius, don't you?
This bit here, I'm going to want it to sit a bit lower. So what we'll do is we'll put a line on here that shows where the alley is under it. This needs more off, just more. That's fine, that's fine. I don't know why I cut that. That was really stupid because it's now below the line and probably going to be visible.
What was the aim behind that one?
I don't even know. That needs cut, that needs cut. Right, that brings us to the front. Now, I have pondered the orb on this considerably, and I had to fight this on again, and
We tried to think of ways to keep this nice enclosed area, but then realised that it's probably just way more hassle than what it's worth.
Both a waste of time and a constant source of misery for me, so it's getting cut off. But what I'm going to do is try and keep it as close as possible to the front when we cut it. So I've got a nice obvious line there. I've still got an arm clearance to think about. So really, what we're going to want to be doing instead is clearing the arm as well. So my line needs to go like that. And then we follow that right the way round to there, but straighter, obviously. And that deals with all this. This can all go now.
I like the idea. I thought
I did as well. And I think if we were going balls out aero, that's probably a good thing, but I just wanted to bloody run.
Yeah, because the thing you need to remember here is that if you ever really need to work on this and you've enclosed all of this,
yeah, I mean,
it very quickly becomes a massive pain.
Even with this in mind, what you need to consider is that needs hammered on. There's going to be bolt fouling here. There's going to be constant bolt fouling here. Every time I'm tightening these up, it's going to ping against the alley and bend it. If we have full compressions here or possibly some level of nonsense, it's already tickled that.
Yeah.
This guy is very tight, and if I'm taking all this metal out, but we're just getting rid of it.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, as you said as well, does the nose cone not actually come quite
the nose
far?
cone sits over that, like out the way. So aero-wise,
it's by the time everything's on, it's actually quite a small open space, isn't it? Really.
So that is my cut list. Let's get on. we've got it trimmed, and I'm at a point now where I'm happy to chuck holes in it for rivets.
Are you
and then, yeah.
Are you actually happy?
Almost, right. So as per every other bit of riveting, we're going to drill the holes first, where this is all clamped down, so that all the holes are in the same place. And then we'll take them off, clean them up, we'll put the silicone on that we need to do, put it back on, rivet it, and...
Yeah. There's only about 1 million rivets in this one, so...
There's going to be a lot of rivets.
There's going to be a lot of rivets.
However, in my effort to do future thinking, I am pondering this section here, right? Now, the reason being, ignore... By the way, finally found a use for the old banger chair mount. You'll notice that this curves down, right? Now, my plan was, if I chuck rivets in here, it doesn't make the rivets quite as load bearing as putting them in the top. It means it's all nicely captured and bent round, and then you get rivets in the bottom and it'll be nice and solid. However, if I'm getting in and out of this car,
nice,
right? So could probably get rid of that and, you know, silicone it and whatever and hammer it, but it's going to be a lot easier if I was to cut along here, like 2mm in, and then just make that the rivet lip.
Well, but you're nice captured though. It's nice and captured at the moment.
I get that, but what I can also do is put over that something a bit more IVA compliant with radiuses that trims that. It's going to be harder to do that when that's put over there. Is it going to be harder to? It's going to be harder to stop the catching, because that'll still protrude from whatever I put over here, if I ever put anything over there. But if that's just trimmed there, it means whatever, if something goes over there, it's capturing onto the tube section.
Just don't ever get out.
I mean,
Just
my
get in
fat
once.
arse does dictate the first time I get in this, it'll be the last time I ever get in it ever again, because I'll be wedged in for good. But this is my thought at the moment. Apart from that though, everything else is fine. As you can see, we've lopped the front off because because I just have. Probably gonna have to put a bit of thought into this, because we've actually bowed out.
Yeah, I seen that when you kind of chapped it and you kind of chapped it. And
But I think we might have excess on here, so that's fine if it's bowed out, because I'll just pull it in a bit more and make it straight. So that's all right. I'd rather bow out than we're not catching anything underneath.
it's an ear scoop.
It's not going to be an issue.
Do they know about the amazing drill?
There's nothing wrong with this drill. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this drill. The only thing wrong with this drill is you. You're what's wrong with this drill.
This drill.
There's nothing wrong with this drill. Apart from the fact I can't find it.
I love as well the fact that it's not even a cheap drill. It's an expensive banger drill.
It's not a banger drill. It's not a banger drill. It's an absent drill.
It's the fact that when you go to drill holes, even in drill mode, it just goes...
Allow me to demonstrate why he's talking shite. Absolute shite.
It's so good.
Here we go. That is me tightening up.
Was that in drill mode there when it done that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It Stop fighting.
Here we go. You're doing this really gently now so it doesn't do it.
What's your problem?
You were doing that super gentle there so it didn't go brrr.
Such a penis. see we have one rather nice, not too shabby looking side panel finally done. You'll note we don't have the other one because if you remember earlier in the episode, I said I'm going to go onto eBay and order 500 rivets. Well, they've not arrived, and I went onto eBay and was ready for a proper old rant, and they're still sitting in my shopping basket. So we will finish this at the start of the next episode, along with, finally, tasks that do not involve one day maybe getting the side panels on, because it's done. So, until next week, guys, like, bell, subscribe if you just found this. In fact, like, bell, and subscribe anyway if you've been watching this from the start, because I keep telling you to do it. If you want to support a bit more than that, patreon.com/toolsandtrack, because it's why you don't see any ads. You're absolutely welcome. And until next weekend, guys, drive safe. I think there's a pretty good chance I'm going to make a wall, maybe here, and fill it with these testaments to my
sheer fucking hubris.
Have you heard Bon Jovi's greatest hits in a while?
No. The context for this, there's a garage, right, like over the car park and a fence away that every Sunday decides to play at 11 Bon Jovi's greatest hits.
Full volume, tannoy level of
And
volume.
only Bon Jovi's greatest hits. I don't even think there's anyone in the garage. I think they just do it
And then leave.
to deter criminals, because no criminal is going to stand there with this incessant 80s dirge playing at full volume and steal things.
Yeah, the best bit is though is that the CD skips at like track 6.
Every time.
So you get, we've listened to the same 6 tracks for how long? Forever, ever. Yeah. Favourite tool in this garage is this drill. Never ending hilarity. It's so good. It's so good. It doesn't matter how many times you get this drill out, it's still funny. It's still funny. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Love it. Oh, to be fair, what were you in? You were in... It's in drill mode.
Right.
Torque settings at full. What the fuck?